Well, there's a picture of me knocked out, and no, that's not just me getting back from Planet 13, okay? That is me getting knocked out by these ridiculous numbers that were just reported by Apple and Amazon. Let's call it the Apple and Amazon knockout. Absolutely incredible what both of these companies just posted. Like, I am in shock right now. Like, it is ridiculous, okay? This was my facial expression seeing those numbers come out and be reported. I was like, is this even real? I mean, yeah, Apple and Amazon, you might expect them to beat, but the type of numbers they just put up are beyond stunning. Like it's just ridiculous, okay? Absolutely ridiculous. In this video here today, I want to accomplish three things. I want to go over those numbers with you guys. I want to show you these top line, bottom line numbers, as well as a few other numbers, okay? I want to give my opinion on these numbers from both these companies. And I also, at the end, we're going to go on the whiteboard. I'm going to share with you where I think these two stock prices are going over the next 1 to 2 years, in my personal opinion. So hope you guys enjoyed today's video. As always, if you don't mind, smash that thumbs up button. That helps out the YouTube channel. Also, if you're looking to scale your portfolio, you got 5 figures plus in the stock market, or you got 5 figures plus on the sideline that you want to invest in the stock market over the next year, go ahead and check out the first link in the description. Fill out the application. Hopefully you'll be able to get on a phone call with somebody high up from my team. We can help you scale your portfolio, okay? So let's start out here by looking at both these stock prices after hours. Obviously, they're both moving very nice. APL, look at that, 5.78% up after hours, another $22 a share. And Amazing's on up 5% after hours. Huge move there. And by the way, that's a good thing for Berkshire Hathaway, okay? If you don't know, guess what? Apple and Amazon, both those stocks are in Berkshire Hathaway's portfolio, and Apple's by far and away the biggest position in Berkshire Hathaway. So just keep that in the back of your mind that, the fact that Apple stock is going up so much is actually a really, really good thing for Berkshire Hathaway, okay? So, but massive moves there. By the way, my big tech dog, the FB, hey, it's outperforming them both, but shh, okay? So, 4 of the largest tech companies just added $200+ billion in after-hours trading. Incredible. Jeff Bezos owns 57 million Amazon shares, okay? Amazon shares are up, what, $153 after hours? That means Jeff Bezos' wealth just increased $8.72 billion in a 15-minute span. Are you flipping my flapjacks? How ridiculous is that? His wealth just went up almost $9 billion in 15 minutes. I mean, there's levels to money, okay? There are levels to money, and that man is playing on his own level where no one's even close to him. Ridiculous. Think about this. He added over 20 Planet 13 entire company market caps in a matter of 15 minutes, just to his personal net worth. How ridiculous is that, okay? These Amazon numbers are beyond disgusting, okay? Amazon reported blowout second quarter results on Thursday, including a huge beat on top line and double-digit revenue growth year over year. Stock climbed, obviously, 5% plus. I can just laugh at these numbers because they're just laughable how ridiculously good they are, okay? Earnings came in $10.30 a share. $1.46 a share was expected. Are you kidding me? This has to be some kind of freakish joke. Like, who could have ever expected earnings would beat that ridiculous? That's just, I don't even know how to explain that, guys. That's just insane, okay? But maybe even more insane is the revenue beat. Revenue came in at $88.91 billion when $81.56 billion was expected. This company beat by over $7 billion on top line. I mean, guys, I can't even explain these numbers. It's just ridiculous, okay? Just absolutely ridiculous. Think about it this way, okay? The company, with the whole $81 billion was expected, right? That was going to be 28.6% revenue growth year over year, which is, insane. Just, incredible. And the company just grew, what, like 40% or some insane number year over year? Like, just ridiculous, guys. That company is clicking on all cylinders. The retail business, Amazon Web Services, the advertising business, it's everything across the board. It is just a Goliath. and it just, continues to basically show that, it deserves to trade at a, very, very rich multiple compared to where the market trades at. Let's just put it that way. At the end of the day, this was a knockout earnings. It knocked me out cold, okay? It was a 10 of 10. I mean, the most perfect of perfect earnings. It's very rare I can give out a 10 of 10. But if there's an earnings that deserves a 10 out of 10 for this earnings period so far, it's Amazon. Like, you can't poke at anything there. It's just ridiculous, okay? Absolutely ridiculous. Now, what about Apple? What did they do, okay? Well, they had some ridiculous earnings as well. EPS for Apple came in at $2.58. $2.04 was the estimate. That's a very, 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 very nice beat on earnings per share. Revenue came in at $59.69 billion. $52.25 was expected. They beat by over $7 billion on the top line. Guys, this is ridiculous, okay? Literally, I can't even, I never foresaw, them doing this big of a number. And I'm talking Apple or Amazon, beating by 7 billion plus both companies. It's just ridiculous, okay? Just ridiculous. I mean, you should expect maybe them to beat a little bit. This is what these type of companies do. They usually beat by a little bit, maybe $1 billion, maybe a $2 billion beat, but 7 billion plus? What? Okay, what? iPhone revenues came in at $26.42 billion versus $22.37 billion was expected. Services revenue came in right in line. Apple's business is highly seasonal, and its revenue was the highest the company has ever reported in the third quarter, typically the slowest of the year for Apple, okay? Revenue was up nearly 11% year over year. How? 11% year over year during a once in 100-year Rona? What? Okay, most companies are seeing their businesses shrink considerably right now. And then you have Apple just say, no, we're not shrinking. We're going to grow 11% year over year. Some of our best growth in a while, okay? Every major product line saw year-over-year growth. Services was up almost 15% from the year prior, nudging the company past its internal goal of $50 billion in annual services sales. Tim Cook, who's Apple CEO, says, "We are proud to announce that we have achieved our goal of doubling our fiscal 2016 services revenue 6 months ahead of schedule," Cook said on the earnings call. Incredible, okay? Incredible. Look at the numbers. iPad revenue came in. This is ridiculous, okay? iPad revenue came in at $6.58 billion versus analysts were expecting $4.88 billion, okay? Analysts were expecting $4.88 billion. Company comes in at $6.58. Mac revenue came in at over $7 billion. $6 billion was expected. They beat by over $1 billion on just Macs. Think about that for a moment. $1 billion plus beat on just the Mac business, okay? Woo! Other products revenue came in at $6.45 billion versus $6 billion was expected. Other products, think about things like AirPods, Apple Watch, products like that, okay? Gross margin came right in line, 38%. Apple's earnings was almost perfect, okay? It's almost a knockout. I'll give it a 9 out of 10, maybe even a 9.5 out of 10, somewhere right around there. I mean, just absolutely incredible. One of the strongest earnings reports I've ever seen in Apple's history, in terms of just something that just took everybody by surprise. I mean, back in the day when iPhone was just really starting to do some crazy numbers and the iPad business was starting to take off, this is back in, still it's talking about the Steve Jobs days, okay? I remember Apple would report some crazy numbers and just make everybody say, what? How did Apple do that? This was the closest back to those old days where it's just took you by so much of a surprise because they beat just by just trounced numbers, okay? Also, Apple announced a 4-for-1 stock split, okay? This doesn't really mean much for you guys in the end. The shares will become a lot cheaper, but you get 4 times more shares for whatever shares you own. The shares will be distributed to shareholders at the close of business on August 24th and will begin trading on a split-adjusted basis on August 31st. So that's moves that will be coming up in August, okay? So next, now that we went through those crazy earnings, a 10 out of 10 for Amazon, a 9, if not a 9.5 out of 10 for Apple, where do I see these stock prices going now? We know after hours, Amazon stock's at 3,200 plus, and Apple stock is at $407. So where do I see these two stocks going over the next 1 to 2 years? I want to share my perspective on these two stocks. I've been tracking them for over a decade now. Never personally owned Amazon stock, although I've always loved it. I have personally owned Apple stock. I used to own Apple stock, made a lot of money on Apple stock. It did me very well. I went ahead and sold out of Apple, I don't know, it might have been a year ago, and went ahead and moved that money into Tesla stock, which obviously Tesla's, I mean, Apple's done amazing over that time, but Tesla's just done on a whole other level compared to Apple stock. I mean, Tesla, I think 5x or 6x since I bought that one. So let's talk about this for a moment. Next 1 to 2 years, where do I see these stocks going? So when we're talking about these two stocks, okay, let's talk about Amazon first. So Amazon, should be trading somewhere around $3,200 after hours tomorrow, okay? Now, we know they just came out with these ridiculous earnings. Expectations are, going to be sky high for this company now, because now they just reported, what was that, 40% revenue growth or something like that. Now the expectations for Amazon are all the numbers that are going to be expected from Amazon are going to go up massively for the rest of this year and probably going into next year. Like, expectations are going to go sky high. Now we know, although, the shares are trading at that after hours right now, right? We know this stock was, what was it, about $1,700 or so in the March lows kind of area, okay? Sometime around March or maybe April, the stock was somewhere around $1,700, I remember, okay? So the stock has ran a lot. And keep in mind, in a company like Amazon's case, right? For that stock to almost double, we're talking about hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars of market cap this company has gone up, okay? So expectations are now going to be sky high for this company. Overall, just enthusiasm for Amazon stock is going to be sky high now, like pretty much the highest I've ever seen it, or very close to it, right? And just expectations, everything across the board is just going to be sky high, including the stock price, right? Now, a lot of people might be expecting this one to continue to fly up, fly up. In my opinion, over the next 1 to 2 years, I think Amazon will actually be in the zone of about $2,800 to about $3,800 for the next 1 to 2 years. And that's not, a big change, especially for Amazon stock. But why do I think that? The reason I think that is because this stock has ran so much, the expectations are so priced in. And that's why, let's just think about this for a moment, right? Why is Amazon stock only up 5% after hours? Those earnings were ridiculous. I mean, they just absolutely obliterated anything that was expected from Wall Street. Why isn't this stock up 20% after hours right now? Because, gosh, I mean, if we're going to talk about a stock that deserves to be up 20% after hours right now, or 20% tomorrow, let's say, it looks like it's Amazon, right? Because that was a 10 out of 10 earnings. You don't get better than that in the stock market. Ridiculous, okay? Why is the stock not up 15, 20%? Why is it not going to be up 25% tomorrow? We've seen other stocks do that in the past. Well, at the end of the day, when it comes to Amazon, the stock has ran a lot already. It's already priced in so much good news. So we got some, obviously extraordinary news, and it makes it go up, but it doesn't make it go up like crazy. It makes it go up 5%, right? Not a crazy amount. A lot of money has already rotated toward stocks like Amazon, okay? A lot of money already, because some smart investors, some smart funds out there realize like Amazon's going to capitalize in this whole Rona situation, and they're going to probably thrive. And obviously, they're thriving like they've never thrived before, right? And so a lot of money has rotated into Amazon. So as the stock goes over 3,200, maybe approaches 3,300, 3,400, something like that over the coming weeks or months, expect likely a rotation of money into some other stocks. The next play, the next wave of stocks that will likely have some, incredible earnings and those sorts of things, because now expectations are going to go so sky high for Amazon that it's going to be hard for them to come out with a 10 out of 10 next quarter. I can guarantee that, because analysts are about to make their numbers go up so high, because now analysts are going to be like, well, they just grew 40%. They're probably going to grow 30, 35, maybe 40% again next quarter. Let's bump our numbers way up from what we were expecting, 23%, right? And so now all of a sudden, if you're Amazon, it's going to be hard to impress. It's going to be hard for the next earnings to be a 10 out of 10. I can tell you that. And especially for the rest of this year, if not going into next year. And so that's why I think this stock will ultimately, oh my goodness, I'm dropping markers. That's why I think ultimately this stock will be stuck in this range for the next 1 to 2 years. I don't think, the stock's going to 4,000 plus in the short term. Who knows? It is amazing, Zon, and it could do anything. But I just think it's going to get to that topped out peak. I feel like we're almost peak enthusiasm around a lot of big tech stocks in general, but especially around Amazon because of how ridiculous these earnings. So I think, going over that over the next year or two is going to be very, very difficult. And to keep moving up that market cap, it's going to be really difficult, and especially when so much money has already rotated into this play over the past 4 or 5 months, which is how you've gotten the stock to go from 1,700, right, to 3,200. We're talking once again about, what is that, $700 billion plus of market cap have been added in the stock, if not more than that. That's an incredible, incredible number. Apple stock. Let's talk about Apple for a minute, okay? So Apple is trading at, what was it, about 400 and I think it was $7 after hours, something around that, okay, after hours here. And when it comes to Apple stock, this stock was in the 200s, right? In those, around those March lows, somewhere around the 200s range, 250, 260, something like that, right? And so this is another one that's added, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars of market cap. In my opinion, over the next 1 to 2 years, Apple will float anywhere between $350 a share to $450 a share for the next 1 to 2 years, okay? Now, obviously, they should have a 5G iPhone coming out. That's going to be good for them, things like that, right? But this is another situation, like an Amazing Zone, right, where the stock has already priced in so much good news, right? Remember, this stock added, 700, let's say $800 billion of market cap over just the past several months. A lot of good news has been priced in. This is another one that you say, man, that's the first time Apple's come out with, like shocking earnings since probably the Steve Jobs days, right? And the stock's only up 5% after hours? Like, why is the stock not up 10%, 15%? Why is it not up 20%? Those earnings were ridiculous. They crushed it. Because a lot of this has already been priced in with this stock, which is why it's up 5% and not 15%. And so I think this is kind of a realistic range for the stock. I think it's going to be hard for these stocks to, climb to the sky over the next 1 to 2 years, simply because there's just, almost like a peak enthusiasm around these stocks. There's been so much money that has rotated into them. The expectation is going to go sky high for these companies, which means essentially, when expectations go sky high from these companies, from Wall Street analysts, this is going to put these companies in a situation where they either miss numbers or whether they slightly beat numbers. And when you go from a stock where you were crushing it and you were just, obliterating Wall Street, to all of a sudden you either miss numbers or you slightly beat, all of a sudden investors are like, whoa, 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 what happened here? This is the way it works. This is just the way it works on Wall Street. Sometimes people get way too excited about these stocks. They move up way too much. And other times these stocks move, down way too much. It's just the way it is. So I think this is another stock. I think both these stocks will be stocks that will be range bound for the next 1 to 2 years, simply on the back of just, they've already ran so much. The valuations have pushed up so much that I think it'll be hard to get these stocks to higher and higher levels over the next 1 to 2 years. I think, that's my opinion there, and that's my opinion there. We'll see what happens, obviously, over time, but, a lot is being priced into these stocks now, although these earnings were ridiculously good. But, this is the way that Wall Street works, man. You come out and crush it. You're on top of the world. Enthusiasm peaked. All of a sudden, another quarter or two go by, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, it happened to Amazon. Amazon a quarter or two ago, right? When that stock went down to $1,700, it was like, a lot of negativity. Same thing with Apple when it fell to the 200s, right? And all of a sudden, a matter of a quarter or two, things have, the whole sky has changed. And all of a sudden now there's like peak enthusiasm around these stocks. And everybody's like, oh my gosh, these stocks are going to grow the sky. This is the best thing ever, right? Just keep that in mind. Things change that fast on the positive. Remember, they can change a lot faster on the negative. And it's not because these companies are going to do bad. It's just for the fact that all of a sudden the expectations aren't being beat the way they were being beat before. And all of a sudden, it's kind of silly how it works, but it's Wall Street. I've been in this game for over 12 years now. It's what I've, consistently seen with some of these type of stocks. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. As always, let me know your opinion down there in that comment section. What is your 1 to 2 year price target for these stocks? Do you think Amazon's going to 4,000 plus? Do you think Apple's going to, let's say, 500 plus over the next 1 to 2 years? And what's your thesis around that? Or do you not see that? I would love to hear from you guys in that comment section, as always, whether it's, whatever your opinion is, as always, okay? And by the way, if you want to learn how to scale your stock market portfolio, check out the first link in the description down there. That'll definitely help you out, and hopefully we can get you on a call. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.